Hey guys, it's that time of the week again. It's Chronicles Day. I'm going to do another recording, and you see on my desk I pulled out a variety of things. I am going to go through the things that I've pulled out from my stash. I do have one new item that I recently received this week, and I'm hoping to use a little bit of that in my stash as well. But I am going to use some matte gel medium in today's project. I have been saving some tidbits of stuff. In here is tags and just different things, clothing tags and little bits of paper and stamps, and these are, cloth butterflies on some things, and just different tapes, and just some different things that I've just been kind of I have gotten over the years that just different things. So I'm probably going to pull something from here to add to I'm just going to probably say, I'm probably going to say card or page a lot because they are cards, and I do a lot of journal pages, so I'm not sure what to call them just yet, but you'll probably hear me say those two things quite often. Pulled out some washi tape that I'm going to probably use. I use washi tape quite a bit, or often I should say. I like using washi tape. I'm going to probably use some graphite pencils or some charcoal pencils in today's project. I have my Rembrandt watercolors that I'm going to use. This is the new item that I bought. These are Sennelier, and I love them. I've used them once already, but these are their iridescent and metallic oil pastels. So I've got those. I pulled out a texture stamp from my stash that I'm going to use. And then I pulled out, again, some random bits of paper to incorporate, kind of some colors that kind of go together, and then a little bit of a book page. This is a dictionary page, so I'm going to incorporate all of that. And here's today's card. Again, no rhyme or reason. I just pulled one from my stack. And then some masking tape. And you can use masking tape for two different things. One, to go down the middle of your spine of your journals or lightweight paper, which is one thing I'm going to do, because I found with the Chronicle card I did the other day, it's fine here, but on the back side it separated just a tad bit here at the top, and kind of a tad bit there. So I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to bind these together in a book like this, so that you can flip through the pages, like that, or if I'm going to keep them in card form, or what I'm going to do yet. I probably will bind them, but until I decide, I am going to, as I do them, put a piece of masking tape down the center. That's just going to give extra support for the spine, so any wet media doesn't make it separate. And then the other thing you can use masking tape for is, it's a great, if you don't have a lot of supplies yet, it's great for texture. You can peel off a piece and put it on your page and make it all wrinkly. So it's good for texture. So keep that in mind. I'm going to go away. I'm going to finish putting this, getting this stuff ready and kind of separated. And then I'm going to come back and we'll get started. All right, I'll see you then. Hi Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm back. It's been a day or two actually. Today's Saturday. I wasn't able to get the video up on Thursday, so I do apologize. I'm gonna try to start getting the recordings going for the Chronicles a little bit ahead of time, so I can get them out for you more often. But you'll see that I went ahead and I prepped the card. I did the strip of masking tape down the center to protect the center, and I did a little bit of light wash of the gesso. So I'm going to fold it now and I'm going to get started. Got my matte medium here. I got my papers. Just going to do a little bit of collage, kind of just, you know, real easygoing, relaxed, kind of see where I want it to be. Again, because I'm thinking I'm gonna bind them the way I do my normal journals. Let me show you. I have a video on a live stream on my channel of how I made this journal, where I took some really thin, lightweight paper. I think this is 90-pound paper, and I use double-sided archival tape, and I tape them back to back, and I'm able to get a really flat journal that way, and I'm able to work in with any medium I want, and it stands up to any kind of abuse I give it. So I think what I may do is I'm going to probably use the same concept with these, because they're cards and they're not super sturdy, and this is just, you know, some quick little, you know, let's get to know our supplies, kind of play around, and not really any kind of huge, you know, this is just play. This is just to get our feet wet for the new, you know, people that are new to mixed media, you know, play with supplies we haven't played with for a while. So it's just, you know, these Chronicle videos are really just to play. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm not going to do anything on the front of this card. I think I mentioned that in the intro part of this video. So I'm going to just work on the inside, so that way front and back is left clear. It doesn't do any purpose to put anything on there since it's going to be covered. So I'm just going to do some collage on the inside. And I got this paper, and then I might incorporate, I'm thinking about using these butterflies, taking them off this wire, and gluing them down as my focal, so I can get them used. I don't know, maybe some tags. I don't know. I have some tidbits of paper here. I have some words. I have some cutout words here. Oh, here's the other wing. Yeah. So I don't know what I'll use yet. Just kind of pick through my little tidbits, see what we've got here. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to come back because I don't want to waste time on video doing the side work. I mean, I do want you to see what I'm using and stuff like that, but I'm going to go through my little tidbits and see what I'm going to gather together, and then I'll come back and then I'll do the collage, okay? See you in a couple minutes. Here. Let's put some, let's put some here. That looks good, I think. Let's see. That's good. I think, you know, it's an odd number, so it's good. I think that's good. Oh, there was my phone, my reminder. Okay, I got a couple minutes, so I am going to, I'm going to let that dry. Then when we come back, we're going to, oh, you know what, I'll do really quick. I am going to put down some clear gesso. That I put down before we put down any of the paste. And I want to use the oil pastels, right? So we want to get down our clear gesso before we put any of that down, so it doesn't, because the oil pastels that I'm using are metallics. We don't want to fade out the metallics. We don't want this, because clear gesso is a matte product. You don't want to, unless you want it, unless you're trying to dull down the metallics. But I don't. I want them to be, I want them to, excuse me, I need to wake up my voice this morning. Plus, I had just gotten over a 5-week cold. Ooh, it was terrible. We don't want the clear gesso to, I don't want it to dull down the metallics. So just remember your layers in what you're doing. You know, so I will be back after this dries and after my stream this afternoon, and then we will finish it up. I am quite excited how this is going. I love how it's looking. So I will see you then, and then I'll probably finish it. I will finish it up. I will finish it up today, and I will get this posted today, later this evening, or this afternoon rather, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So I will talk to you in a little bit. Bye. Hey guys, so I'm back. I don't quite remember where I left off, but I did put everything down, and I did the light coat of gesso, and I put the washi tape down, and I see I gotta do a little bit of more glue there. I know I had pulled out light modeling paste, but my original plan was to do some stenciling through some matte with some gel for a clear stencil effect. I think that'll be nice with the watercolor, so I'm going to do that instead. So I'll do that, and then figure out. Yesterday got really busy, and I wasn't able to get back to the video. But I'm going to get this finished right now. We are 24 minutes in, so we are going to get going on this video. Let's see. So, let's see. I don't think I have any clear gesso on this just yet. I do want to put some of that on. I don't know if I did. So let me just put a really quick coat of clear gesso, because that's going to give us, that's going to seal the page and seal the background a little bit. I like to do that after I glue everything down. A little bit of that. Just to make sure, and it's going to give us a seal, and it's going to give us a medium to work on top of for the watercolors. So I'm going to do that. Okay. So that's just a real quick, nice thin coat, nothing major. And then I'm going to quickly dry that. And then I'm going to get out my palette knife. Here. I like this one. So I'm going to use that one. It's actually already down here for me. And let's put a little bit of this clear matte gel. Put this through stencil in a couple areas. doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, for me, imperfect is kind of what I like better. That's nice. And then we'll do a little bit over here. Now it's not a heavy gel, and it doesn't have to be. Just to give it a little bit of texture. Okay, get a mess up there, and then let's see. We'll do a little bit and a little bit down here. I don't know where I'm putting my butterflies yet, and I'm not thinking about it. I'm just putting some stuff down and figure out everything as we go. This is just for play, just to kind of have fun, quick little, you know, just to do a little bit of art. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to wash off my stencil and dry this because this will take a minute, and then I will be right back. Okay, I am right back today. Did not take a long break, and you can't really see the texture. The neat thing about using a gel medium is that when it dries, it does become clear. You won't see it until I start putting the watercolor on the project. So if you're following along and you're going to think that, oh, it disappeared, don't worry, it'll come back once we start adding some color to it. So again, I use the matte gel medium. If you have a heavy gel medium, you can use that. You can use any kind of product you have. I just chose gel medium. If you don't have this, use your heavy gesso, use your any kind of paste you have, anything you have, just use that. This is just what I have, and I wanted to use it. So yeah, anything for a stencil, any stencil will work. Yeah. Now I'm going to. I thought I was going to use. Let's see, pastels too. I love using these pastels. They are my new favorite thing. But let's see, what color do I want to use? Get a little bit of. Let's see. You know, let's use the. Let's use 132, the Golden Pearl. Let's use that. Is that this one? These things are so creamy. Nope, that's 114. What's this one? 112. Where's Golden Pearl? 125. 132, that's this one. Yeah, let's use a little bit of that. And I'm just gonna do, I like to do like a little bit of organic scribbling, nothing, no kind of shape at all. I think it's more, you know, it's not forced, it's just a little bit of scratching. It doesn't have to be any kind of shape, but I think it's more intuitive that way. Oh my goodness! Ah! Shauna, look what you did. I just dropped all my pastels. Thank goodness, I hope they went right back in the pot. I think I got them right back in the spot, but they, note to self, don't do this again. Oh my goodness, now. I'm not going to get that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Don't break the pastels. Don't do that at home, kids. Don't do as I do as I say. Okay, so now we can move on. So these are my butterflies. So we have some green and orange, a little bit of blue and white in there. And now I have two. I wonder if I make it just one and double. Well, maybe that's what I'll do. really don't want two. We really want, oh, you can't see. What I'm thinking of, let me scoot this over a little bit. Because I only have two of these, I might make these, I want to double them up, but maybe I'll have to. But you really don't want two of something. You really want odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5, 7. You know, it's more appealing to the eye if you have odd numbers. So do I double them up, or do I want to maybe put some more things on there? Maybe, I don't know. Do this, and then I have, it's too bad I don't have, butterfly's kind of wonky anyway. I could make this like its own butterfly. Still only have two. Butterfly wings. That looks weird anyway because I lost a piece of this one, I think. I really want to use these, but I don't know. Yep, I think I may have to double these up so it looks right. It'll look better if I double it up and it becomes one. So I think that's what I'll do. Skip the stamps for now, but I could do create and then put the butterfly. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Skip these little tidbits for now. Okay. See, that's what happens. You kind of have one thought or one way you think you're going to go, and then you end up going another way, and that's okay. It's quite okay. Yeah, I think I'll glue these and make it one butterfly. So, but anyway, our colors are orange, green, and blue. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, I think I'll use, alright, so let me get out my brush here. Let's, and these are good color. They go together. I'll bring this back into view so you can see. Alright, and we're 34 minutes in. We're just going to put a little watercolor on here. And then let me, actually, put these together right now so they can kind of dry off to the side. I'm just going to take a little bit of gel medium, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one. I'm just going to put a little bit of gel medium there, right? A nice little thick layer of gel medium, and then I'm going to take this guy. I only have time to fiddle with it. And you kind of want it to be like that, so the under layer shows. Let me bring it up to the camera. Okay, so you have like that. Okay, and then that way you can make sure that this dries. This can sit over there and dry while I'm making the page or doing the watercolor part. Okay, that's one wing. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Get a little bit of gel medium, put a nice little thick layer right there. Okay. And this little guy over here. These things are so delicate because I think they're made of feathers or faux feathers. I'm not sure which. But we'll bring it out just so it just captures the edge. I'm going to turn it over. A little bit more. Make sure that this gets in there, nice and stuck. This, you want it to stay, right? Even though this is, there we go. And then this will sit over here and dry like that. And I'll turn them over so they don't stick to anything. And then these will dry, a little bit while I'm fussing with the background. Okay, so let's do that. Okay. Okay. Now we're just going to play. We're just going to play with the background. I'm going to move this off to the side for a second. I'm going to get the brushes I want to use. Just going to get some somewhat clean water. I didn't get terribly clean water for this. I was working yesterday on my live stream, so let's see. Oops, not that one. That one's kind of... I have to look at what colors we got here. Okay. Let me not touch that one. This one. So we have, so I'm going to use in my palette to match the blue. I think I'm going to use, I'll use the cobalt as my blue. And we'll just mix it in here. Just make whatever blue, yeah. And let's get this blue here. This is cobalt. It's an alternative, or no, that's cerulean I'm thinking of. Well, sometimes you can use cobalt too. Some people use cobalt or cerulean in exchange of ultramarine. Doesn't really granulate, but depends on the brand. Make sure I have enough paint in my well. I can get some more later. Okay, so there's that. And then we need green that's going to kind of go with that. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use, actually the Viridian looks like it's going to work. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do the Viridian. Viridian sometimes doesn't like to release very well. Spraying your watercolors can help release them. This Viridian is a little bit hard to get out of that pan. Let me get out my scrubby brush. I use this very old brush to dig into, get a lot of watercolor out of my pans. I don't want to ruin my watercolor brushes. So always, if you can, have a separate, stiffer brush to dig into your pans. That'll save your watercolor brushes, especially when you're working with a pigment that's hard to get out. Now, if you're working with a honey-based pigment like M. Graham or Sennelier, they release really easy. So you don't have to be as cautious, but I typically always use my separate brush here to get pigment released. Just saves on my watercolor brushes. Doesn't want to release, but I want that color, so I got to work with it a little bit. Sometimes there's challenges in art. Got to fight our products. I don't typically like to do that, and that's why I don't typically use this color, but I want this color, so I'm going to use it. It's in there. I need to use up these paints, right? So we're going to do that. All right. So then, now we need an orange, and I think I'm going to use this vermilion. And you do have to be careful when you're using colors. You know, you don't want to make mud. So the vermilion, I'm not going to use very much of it, because we will get mud with our green there. But it is a color that will go with the butterflies. So we're going to I'm going to put the vermilion on first and then dry that. Then we'll be able to work a little bit with the blue and green because those will mix fine. So we'll do that first and then dry that layer and then finish up with the blue and the green. Okay. Or maybe we'll use the orange as splatters. Maybe that's what we'll do. I'm not really a splatter girl, but maybe we'll drip or splatter with the orange at the end, just to introduce it into the piece. All right, so yeah, because I think I just want to continue on and get this finished. We're 40 minutes in. Yeah, so I'm just going to spray my page now, my card page. Again, I'm using them interchangeably. And now I'm going to take my brush. Start with the green, and I'm just gonna probably gotta put water there. Just gonna let it. There we go. See how it's make sure you guys can see this. See how it's going through the clear matte gel and bringing out the stencil. Let's see who's talking to me. Okay, bring a little bit there, bring a little bit here. Just to bring out, and see how the oil pastel, you'll see that it's going to resist the watercolor, and I like that. Okay. I'm not really painting anyone, not painting anything. I'm just dabbing in color, letting it flow across the page, letting it go where it wants to go, tipping a little bit to get a little bit of flow, or spraying as well. I like dripping, especially when you're trying to go through a stencil design. Letting it drip on its own is always fun and interesting. Sometimes letting watercolor do what it wants to do is sometimes more interesting than forcing it. Watercolor is its own animal a lot of times. Okay, so it's nice and wet and messy, and that's okay. We're just going to go with it. We're going to let it just do what it wants to do. I'm going to kind of just let it be. So now I am going to take the blue and I'm going to introduce that. Spray it a little bit. Let it just mingle. Let it do what it wants to do. See, and then you get like a teal color when they mix. Come down over here a little bit. Move around a little bit. If I don't like anything, I can kind of wet it a little bit, spread it out, watch my edges, make sure I got, you know, the kind of design I'm looking for. There we go. That's kind of pretty. All right. Now, kind of dab it up a little bit. Kind of let it dry up. I like how watercolor has kind of like a staining effect. So I'm gonna just quickly give this just a quick little dry a little bit. Not too much. I don't want it to be totally dry yet, because now I'm going to take, and I'm going to make this really watery and orange. And I'm just going to put it in certain spots where it's really kind of wet a little bit. So I don't want to make mud, but I want to introduce the orange. And then I'm going to take my small brush I'm just going to wet it a little bit, dry off the excess water. And then I'm just gonna kind of let it, I'm gonna kind of fade it out a little bit. I want the orange in there. You want it in there, but you don't want to make it mud. And let it, I like that. I like how it's kind of spreading through the stencil there. I'll fade this out here a little bit. Just so we can introduce some of that orange spots. Now I'm going to take again and get it really wet, and maybe just do some splatters. Orange and blue and green are good colors together, but again, you don't want to make mud. You just want to let them kind of be friends, but not mix. Not mix and mingle, but be friends. Okay, so I'm gonna dry that and come back and we'll see. Okay, so I dried it and I'm back. Let's cut off our edges, or my edges. I'm gonna do that. Now that we put on our color, and I could have done this off camera, but you know, I'm trying to keep up with the process for those of you who might be new. Okay, so our edges look good. All right, and then I'll probably put this down here. And I'm gonna put some tacky glue on that, I think. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put this down with tacky glue. This is Scotch brand. I also like to use Eileen's. Just put it on there and then smooth it out. There. You could use matte medium too. I just want to go around the word. Let's create. And then for the butterfly, excuse me, for my, okay, why is that not fitting out? Alright, so then, the butterfly's not fully dry, and that's okay. We're going to better to definitely, now I'm going to take also some gel medium for that. Now, do I want to totally flatten it down, or do I want to, I think I need to overlap it a little bit. Maybe it should be this way. Yeah, that's the way it should be. And then I think, yeah, maybe like that. Okay. I think that'll be cute like that. Kind of kitty corner. Let me move my paints here. Stop hitting that. Scissors away. What did I do with my, here. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to glue it down all the way, or should I? So it flattens. Yeah, maybe. Alright, so let me put the one side down first. Again, I'm going to take some gel medium. Because this is a raised product, not, you know, paper, something you can put down flat, you want to put, it's not heavy, but, you know, you want to put it so, you know, it stays, because it needs some, I usually like to use a heavier glue, so it does stay, it doesn't fall off your project. Picture in shot, yeah, make sure you guys can see. Okay. Just spread that on there. And this will take a while to dry, so I'll set this out, I'll leave this out to cure. And I'll just put that down like that. And press it down a little bit. And if any glue pokes out, you know, you can wipe it like I'm doing now with my finger. Or you can, you know, if it's just a, you know, you can't really, you're not gonna be able to see it because it's going to be, what do you call it? It's going to go clear, right? So I'm not too worried about it. So it's on there. So here's the, yeah, there we go. So now you can see the little page. So it didn't take long. Put down a little bit of, and then what we'll do now is, I want a little bit of, I like to take, this is where my pencils here, where I would take my graphite, and just kind of go along this and give a little bit of shading. Oh, and be careful not to mess with the butterfly. Yep. Oh. Yeah. Don't touch any objects that any heavy objects that you've glued down. Okay, and then, this, oh, that's the water soluble. Okay, I'm just gonna go around and kind of do a little bit of shading a little bit. Not everywhere, just a little bit to bring in, go around my shapes a little bit. Just to bring in some darkness to the piece. Okay, so yeah, there you go. A little bit of shading there. I like that. It just gives a little bit of something. You know, it's not a masterpiece. It's just about, you know, creating some different depth and textures and colors and yeah. So make sure a butterfly's on there. So, and then it's kind of dimensional, because the butterfly is dimensional. And I might put a little bit more gel on this side because I want to stay. You can always put something on top for pressure, but I think it'll be fine. There we go. So it'll be slightly dimensional. Yeah. I think that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this Chronicles, this week's Chronicle. I'm going to go and do some other work, and I'll see you in the next Chronicles video. Let me know what you think, or if there's something you want to see in particular, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.